Anyway, yeah. So I'm talking. I was just going to tell Jenna, who mentioned the blizzard of '78, in which I was 11, and I went traipsing out into the backyard to try to measure the snow. I had a yardstick with me, and I made it to the middle of the backyard, and I put the yardstick in the snow, and the whole entire thing disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one snowstorm. It was crazy. We opened our garage door, and yeah, there was like however much. It was more than 3 feet because it kind of drifted against the garage door, and it was just like the whole thing was white. We took like we had a kind of screen door thing with a storm window at the bottom, and that's what we took that out to go over that to get out because you couldn't open the door.
Wow.
Just, stories of blizzards. But yeah, it was a blizzard here.
Damn. It's a snow-a-cane is what I heard.
Yeah, it's so windy that the windows all look like really classic Jack Frost. You can't see out the windows because the snow all blew up against them while it was still wet.
Wow.
Now you know why they call them windows? Windows? I never thought of that in all my life.
I still am having ow, the wind. No more wind, ow. It's a window.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah.
If Kimber was here, she could tell us the real etymology of the word, but I'll fill in the blanks for now. Hi, Alexander.
Hello. How is everyone?
Good.
Doing all right.
Yeah. Recouping from getting married?
You know, I spent this Sunday cleaning, which I was, because there have been a bunch of stuff gathering up in the corner, and so I was able to clean my room and stuff, so that I felt better. It's like I cleared the slate for the next chapter, whatever that is. But yeah, getting married wasn't that arduous. I mean, it's I put on events all the time, so it was like another event. I'm very glad it happened. It was very I'm glad to be married,
I had a great time, by the way.
You did a great job. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm tempted to look at the video at some point, but I probably won't like it as much as I think I will.
Yeah, you and Jay-Z seem like you were really having a good time.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm so glad we got to hang out so much, Alexander. That was
me too.
Made it fun.
I feel like I blew it in a way. Instead of me driving all the way back to Troutdale, I should have imposed on you and slept. You have a sofa in that.
Well, yeah. Actually, I was thinking that too, but I just thought I didn't want to impose on you because I figured you were trying to get back home and Timmy would miss you. But we could have cuddled in my suite.
He was happy to see me, but I think he would have survived for another few hours. And then if I had stayed in your suite, we would have had like 15 alarms go off at the same time, which would have been great.
That's true. That's true. It's a good thing you did not sleep through your alarm because I set 2 alarms and I slept through both of them.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I set 2 and I didn't sleep through both.
Alexander took Jay-Z to the airport at 3 a.m. is what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I switched my flight early. I was supposed to be going back on Monday night on the overnight to Monday night to Tuesday, but I wanted to get here before the storm. So that's why
I just saw your text. It popped up while we were talking just now. You've been getting snow all day?
Oh yeah. Although I haven't gone outside, I've been just looking at it through the window.
I would love to have a picture. If you want to send me a picture, that would be great.
Oh yeah, totally.
I wish I was there and snowed in. We're rained in here.
Not as fun.
So true.
Less than ideal. Of course, I don't have to shovel, but it's less than ideal. Are you getting some of this too, Jenna?
Yeah, but we only got about 6 inches, and I know people down in 3 hours from me who got like over 30. So I'm being grateful for my little amount.
All right. Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Andy, you seem low energy today.
Oh, I'm in the middle. I'm getting yelled at right now for something I didn't do. So I'm a little like, I'm just trying to field that text barrage. It's a long story. A friend of mine is having a crisis situation, and I went over there to try to help. And I, then I don't know. I don't know. You know, when people are in a crisis, they kind of lose their sanity for a second.
Mhm.
That's what's going on.
Lose
Uh,
their perspective sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mean, whatever. You know, I was writing in my journal about it, and I was like, I'm sick of proving my sanity with long term friendships. It's like if because and especially because Saturn just entered my 11th house in Alexander. What this means is like where Saturn moves through your chart, you have to do the work in some area of life, and like 11th house is friendships. And so it's like I knew some boundaries were coming with friendships just because of the transit, but like what's happening in my psyche is like I'm basically not putting up with the same thing I've put up with in this certain friendship for 10 years, and it's like I kind of drew a boundary, and the person just flew off the handle, and it's like it's like I don't want to have to prove my sanity with like long-term friendships. It's like, okay, I have friends that I've been friends with for 25 years, like Terica, and like there's a lot of people that I have. But you know how I don't know if you experienced this, Jenna, with like having a mental illness diagnosis. It's like I feel like I have to be like, well, I'm schizophrenic, but I have long-term friendship. Like it's some sanity proof, and it's like if I have to draw boundaries in friendship, I have to draw boundaries in friendship. It has no bearing on my sanity. You know, I don't know.
Right.
Everyone has to do that. It would be insane to not do that.
Right. People that don't see a boundary initially really resent having a boundary pop up.
Yes, that's so true.
Yeah.
And sometimes the setting of boundaries is actually a sign that you're healthier. Like it's a
I,
sign of coming out of mental illness.
I think that is a sign of health, of mental health, and we're live, aren't we? Well,
Yeah.
I do know some people that have no boundaries,
Mm.
and I feel like that's not healthy at all.
Well, I was just listening to a sermon about it, like, and it really interesting. It was talking about how, like, we only have so much capacity, whether it's financial capacity or energy capacity or whatever it is, and when you basically hit your capacity, if you don't put a boundary up there, like it was really interesting. She was saying, like, let's say you give a person a number 10 level of something like money or help, and they're only using a number three level of responsibility. Like she said, you can try to get them to raise their level of responsibility, but if there's like a 10-3 disparity, like it causes friction, right? So you can kind of, if you're an enabler, you kind of keep trying to get the person to up their level of responsibility, but it's like in the case that they just keep on this three level, you have to go down to what you give to like a number three. Like it's just kind of mathematics, honestly, of, you know. So and I was really analytical about it, but yeah, it's not going over well. That's okay.
Yeah. And a lot of times I think that the person on level 3 assumes or like experiences the other person as being on level 3 too. So when you start to actually come into like equality or equity or whatever and bring it down, they're like, wait a minute, you're not showing up as much. Like, why do I need to? And it's like, I think that's when it's kind of like the relationship can kind of implode because a healthy boundary is set, but the other person is not ready to acknowledge what is equitable.
Yeah, well, what I find with Saturn going through a certain house, like Saturn going through 11, you know, and I was ready for it coming. I just didn't know quite what it'd be. But it's like it takes things. The first part of the transit is things get taken from you because you start setting boundaries, and then things that aren't able to withstand a boundary go away, right? Like, so you have to get ready for the first phase of a Saturn transit, which is like things are taken from you, you know. And
Yeah.
so I guess some in astrology, being an astrologer for 25 years has developed a certain amount of emotional resilience. Is like when things are taken from me, I am like, oh, there it is. I don't know. It's not like I don't get upset, but I am like thankful for the. I don't know. How do you guys feel when Saturn takes things or life takes things from you? I mean, do you just get up in arms, or you just kind of like take it with stride?
It depends on who it is. It depends on who it is. Sometimes I expect that from a person. Sometimes I think that person should know me better or should have known me better. I also find that people with flexible or no boundaries at all, they want from you more than other people.
Yeah, I think that's true too. It's like, yeah, until you set the boundary, I think there are some people that are like, like goldfish will grow to the size of the bowl. I've had people in my life for sure that will just like keep wanting more and more and more and more until finally I'm like, whoa, like, how do we move the goalpost way over here? And for me, I don't necessarily take it in stride losing something when I do have to set a boundary. I set a boundary and I know that it's right for me, and then I still have like a lot of trouble because then I go into like, oh, but that's not what the other person expected of me, but they should have known me better. But like, and I do a lot of like, I don't know, self-processing about the loss of things, just mostly because I feel it's like, it's a shame that it came to that,
Right.
Well, if we look at it philosophically from an astrological perspective, like Jupiter grows us and Saturn constricts us. And if we don't ever constrict, we would just grow. It'd be like a plant that grew and grew and grew and then fell over on itself. It's like you have to, if you're going to grow in life, you have to constrict. And like, so I see them as like, oh, here's a constriction happening today. Like I set a boundary. Now this relationship's going away. Okay, there. And it's like, I almost am like wax on, wax off, like constriction. Like I got my Facebook taken from me. I'm like, okay, wax on, constrict. Now I'm gonna grow here. Like it's just you just get used to it. I don't know. I'm used to Saturn. I've been watching this shit for 25 years.
Well, I'm sorry that this happened with some relationship right after your wedding. It should have.
Oh, dude.
But you know what? Jay-Z and I, maybe just me, but I thought I'd talk to him about this. During your wedding, I kept being introduced to people, and I was really surprised more than many places that I go, or even weddings that I've been to, where people say, "Yeah, I've known Andy for 25 years." There's just not that many people like that. You knew a lot of those people in that room for a long time, and I think that if I was getting married and I filled the same amount of people, I'd have to pay them to come if I filled that room with the same amount of people. But if I did, they would not say, "Oh yeah, Alexander, I've known him for 25 years." It was
Well, and I don't want to make this meeting all about me or anything like that. I was just, and that's what I'm trying to get over. It's like if I don't think 25 years should be a show of sanity. It's like things come and go. That's a show of sanity.
yeah.
You know what I
But
mean? Like I don't know.
I think sustained relationships for 25 years is really kind of special.
That's weird. Anyway,
I think it takes a certain type of person though, because like for me, I'm like, okay, 25 years ago, 2001, I was in ninth grade. I have Facebook friends that I've
Right.
known since ninth grade.
yeah,
Yeah, like 25 years from being an adult, maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
I have
Well,
friends that
anyway,
go
we
back
can change
that
this.
far, but there are only a few of them, 4 or 5 of them, that I am still in touch with. I could not fill a room with people I've known for 25 years.
Well, you know what I'm noticing? Okay, since we're not changing the subject. Okay, so there are toxic people. Like I got this book. It's like how to deal with toxic people. I don't really have a lot of toxic people in my life, but you know what I have noticed? Sometimes people introduce toxins into their environment, and that spills out onto their life. Like so, for example, if a person like smokes like beer, weed, and cigarettes all day, that's actually putting toxins into their system, which creates toxic things in their environment. Like they smell like beer at work, or they, their teeth are falling out, or what. So like I have some friends who keep introducing toxins into the system, and then like I keep having to clean up the mess. I'm like, you kept pouring battery acid into yourself, and now I'm supposed to clean up that mess. And like in this other case, it's like someone let a toxic person into their house, and now there's this big mess there. It's like what I'm having to be like is if someone introduces toxins into their system, I'm not the cleanup crew. I'm not a garbage man. You know, if you like,
Yeah.
if you pour battery acid on a plant, it will be full of acid. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say on that, I have like zero tolerance for that's what I'd call self-inflicted problems.
Yeah.
No tolerance for self-inflicted problems.
I have low tolerance for repetitive self-inflicted problems. When I
Mhm.
see a friend move through a lesson and then immediately start taking that lesson over again, I
Mhm.
get really jaded and need to distance myself because I already know I've seen this episode and it wasn't that great the first time. I'm good. Like, come back when you're done with this lesson because I'm moving on to this lesson. And it doesn't necessarily mean you never do anything wrong again, but you know, if you're just repeating, you know, boundaries 101 and I'm ready to move on to like how to have an argument without blowing it up in your face 101, you know?
Yeah.
Shane has the same thing. He says no tolerance for self-inflicted problems.
Well, I
I
think,
mean,
you know,
everybody's got the right to be an asshole. That's one thing. And part of that could be that you never get over yourself. You know, you see the people outside the nursing homes with oxygen in their noses smoking cigarettes.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's hard. It's a hard thing to do, to break any habit you have to move on. And obviously I have some issues with that. Ooh, the belly. But
yeah.
you know,
Well, I don't
I'm
want to be like
tolerant to a
holier than
degree.
thou, but I do think it is like taking. Well, I think good astrologers are like senseis. Like, we take every Saturn and we take the lesson from it, and we say like, I am learning this lesson. And some people who don't have like the more spiritual framework, they just like keep repeat. They don't do the self work. It takes a certain amount of self work to stay afloat and clean in life. Sorry, I talked to.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's talk about something else. We
Okay.
are.
I'm just going to introduce this. This was. Let's see if I
Oh,
can. Wait a minute. I have to turn off my blur. How do I do that? Jay-Z stole this from the hotel for me.
they, I gave him a present, a book that
Yeah.
I took from the hotel.
In case you can't see it, it's an original 1855 edition of Leaves of Grass.
That was at the hotel.
It's a paperback.
It's a paperback.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's a
You
Dover.
shouldn't steal stuff.
Huh?
What's that?
You shouldn't steal stuff.
It wasn't stealing. We're just saying I stole it as a kind of, to make a joke.
Anyway, it was great. I'm glad to have it.
Is it a literature?
It made me smile every time I saw it today.
Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about production stuff. So Jenna had to pivot. We were talking about pivoting today. Jenna pivoted today and did the show solo. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So
Solo.
Kimber had a personal emergency and let me know as soon as possible. And then when I woke up at a reasonable late wake up time, I saw. And so we came up with a plan, and I ended up I reached out to a couple different astrologer friends, and no one was available. I had asked Debbie, but she wasn't online, and she saw it after the whole thing was over. So it ended up just being me, although Kimber did send me a bunch of prompts, and she made the thumbnail, which was great. So I still felt like I definitely had a teammate. And yeah, it actually went okay. I was not as nervous as I thought I would be, but nervous enough. And yeah, I figured out how to share the screen so that it wouldn't just be me staring at myself talking the whole time. That's the deflection from looking in the mirror.
Was this on Reddit?
No, this was on my Facebook, but then Andy Moira Press YouTube. So it just a regular, because it's our weekly existential side quests, but it was just me, and I didn't talk about the topic that we were going to talk about, which was about Neptune and love. But I talked about the eclipse because it just feels like, especially over this past week, like with what's going on with Kimber, with Andy losing Facebook, like there's all these things that just feel very like eclipsey, and it kind of builds on that Saturn taking things away or restrictions of Saturn. So it was just interesting to watch that kind of manifest real time, and like the surrender that Neptune's conjunction calls for at the same time, and just kind of go with the flow. It did feel a little like rambly to me, but the feedback I've heard from people was that it was actually okay and it went well and it sounded cohesive and coherent. So that was good.
Yeah. I was really glad you did it. Monologuing is, we actually don't monologue very often. And we've never done this as a crew, but like on our YouTube channels, we could start doing more monologues, especially since, things have changed with the Facebook. But it's like, there's something very powerful. And like, you could go on and do monologues that are not existential side quests, that are just other things. Like anytime you feel like talking to the crowd, you can go in and live stream right on the page. Like you can make your own thumbnail, and I think so. Maybe there's a liberational aspect to doing it alone and saying, okay, this is what that feels like. Because there were people that showed up in the chat. And maybe one time I monologued on Ensoulment and no one showed up. And I think I just stayed on for 30 minutes, then got off. And that's still an episode that sits up there. So, just consider it as a thing. If anything comes up on your heart or something, that you can just go ahead and talk to the crowd.
Yeah, thank you for that. Because afterwards I was like, oh my God, Donna, why didn't you just talk about Chiron? Like lean into that kind of character and be like, where did you do that?
That can be a way that concepts move through you instead of get stuck and become this constant motif that you're actually like trying to move a concept through you. You could do a Chiron episode and you could be like, this is how I feel about Chiron, or a series of them. And then it like moves through you and you can actually move on to something else. And then you can still be known for the Chiron work that you do. But, I think it would be nice to move through those concepts.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And two, I mean, you had this one today to do something else and then to think, oh, shoot, I should have done Chiron. Well, then the next time something like this happens, you'll know like, oh, here's my chance to do Chiron,
Mm-hmm. That's a good call.
Yeah, I just know that I perseverate on topics until I move through them with the crowd. Like, it's not enough for me to trip on it myself or even with my friends. I have to talk to like everyone out there about the concept. And I'm like, got that off my chest. And like, it's not, it's because you want to make sure people know what you know about it. Or like, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying you shouldn't trip on Chiron after that, but it's just that see how it's one of your things. And once you have these videos about it, you can share it. Like Chiron comes up and you can be like, oh, Chiron, they say this, and then bam, share a video. And so it's like you actually can talk to people about Chiron a lot more through the video that you already made,
Yeah.
So. Okay, well, can we talk about pivoting? Okay, so me losing the Facebook page is actually like a huge change because it took away the whole crowd from us. Jenna still has Facebook, y'all still have Facebook, but like a lot of people were chasing us for the real estate of the Facebook crowd. That's 5,000 people. And that's the thing is I can go on and have a different account or whatever, but you can't build up 5,000. That took 15 years to do. So it's like that we lost like huge social capital with that. We lost $1 million. You know what I mean? And so it's like I have to just say that even us making these YouTube videos has a very different feeling to it because it's not going up on the Facebook wall. So I don't know, what are people's feelings about it? And I will say one positive feature of it is I have been feeling weird about the Andrea Garrett's page being called my name because really we're a production company for a lot of astrologers. And it was kind of an error to have it under my name, but I couldn't change it because we would have lost the crowd. So in some ways it's like a clear the cache kind of thing of like, now we can start over on Reddit under Moira Press. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts initially. What do you guys think?
Well, I don't know. I think you're saying that it took 15 years to build, but it didn't really, right? Because it was over the last couple years when you really were trying to do it every day that it went from 500 to 5,000. Right?
Well, no, it was 3,600 and it went up to 5,000.
When did it get to be the 3,000?
It was 3,600 when we started working on manifesting. So that had been like 15 years. Yeah. But still, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like it can exponentially grow, but I mean, I don't know, like losing the crowd is like, that's like being taken off a network or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking is when you're talking about taking off the network or whatever, like you and I were talking about the other day, I see this as like we have something that can go into syndication. So no matter what channels it's being played on, a syndicated show, like a syndicated talk show or a syndicated, whatever kind of show, just gets all these different audiences from all these different places. And the people who are in those different used to consuming from that channel. So that channel might be like network TV versus cable TV versus the radio versus whatever. They don't always cross pollinate. And I think that if we spread ourselves across a bunch of different places, then we'll be able to hit a lot of different people that we wouldn't have gotten if we'd have stayed on Facebook either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like when TikTok came around and people were like blowing up on TikTok who struggled on Instagram, struggled on Facebook and other platforms. So bringing Moira Press in its energy to Reddit is going to have a different reaction. It might even grow faster.
Yeah, it could.
Well, and that's the thing. So what I've read about with having a YouTube show is different than being on Netflix. Okay, so if you have a movie on Netflix, people watch it and then they go about their life, right? So they might have seen you as an actor on Netflix, but they don't really become emotionally attached. With YouTube and things like Reddit and all these kind of things, it's like every view, every look is like a one to one. It's like a real person watching this episode, whatever kind of thing. Um, so in that case, so maybe even if we get one response on Reddit, it's worth a actual person responding to us. It's not just like some viewer that what I mean. So it's like we could look at it as the quality of each view is different than, but yeah, like if we, and maybe in some ways by being on Facebook, we were cutting ourselves off from all these other options. Like we talked about, Jay-Z, going back on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do that. Well, I think we should look and see, like we were talking about the other day, we should see where StreamYard will blast to, like will connect with that. And we should have at least like 2 different places that we're always streaming to at once. And then like if something again happens the next time where we lose one of them, we're still got momentum on the other ones, and we can just keep moving around wherever our show is being broadcast.
It might be advantageous to manage all the streams so that they end up on several different, as Jay-Z is setting, but several different ones, and then monitor which ones get the most hits. So it could be Reddit, Instagram, Blue Sky, Substack, and see which of those gets the most hits and or the most responses, and what kind of responses you want. From Substack, you might get thoughtful stuff, and you're probably not going to get that from Facebook.
Yeah, I like this idea because we're going to blast more. Like we're going to see how Saturn comes in, we get a loss. Okay, we lost Facebook, but now we're going to grow, right? We're going to grow in all these ways. So we're going to grow on the YouTube channel with the live streaming of like, now we're going to go to Twitch, and then we're going to look on StreamYard. We're going to do that Sunday, Jay-Z, to see all the ways we can do this. But now there's a written component to the our production company, which was the Facebook written component of like gathering community, and I have a certain amount of time I can do that during the workday, right? Well, I think I like this idea. Like I'm trying Reddit, and I mean crickets there, but I could use that writing time to go over to Blue Sky, and I could do like I could just say I have an hour or two to write, this production company into fruition during the day, and I just crawl around on all the sites I can. I mean, what do you guys think of that? It's more like we are producing content where it flows. I don't know. It's like just do the content production every day, and whatever gets cut off, and whatever grows.
Well, that's why I suggested several, because you could look at what is growing where.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that idea too, Andy. Yeah, you definitely were in a, kind of re-sowing the seeds phase,
Yeah.
and so we'll see what sprouts where.
Shane
Okay.
says it takes a bit more time to try to drive traffic to Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's going slow, but I did go from 5 followers to 8 followers in the last day, and I think people those are real people coming in, and because I sent out an email, and when we go to Norwalk in May, I'm giving out keychains, and I can actually I can actually put in the keychains like find us on Reddit, like we can actually drive people to wherever we're doing the written side of the Moira Press. We should look at it as the written side, because it's blogging essentially.
Hmm.
Or I did order a book on managing online discussion forums, and I'll read that book and see if I can learn something there as well, because it was kind of like the discussion forum leg of Moira Press.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can do something like that, like on your own website or your own blog or whatever. But I do think that we should try out different platforms that have a bunch of users, so it's like, they're there already, and something with some searchability that will allow people to find us.
So Rob, who seems like a friend of yours, Jenna,
Mm.
Rob Williams,
Yes.
he said, I'm on Blue Sky and it's not an active place. I've been on it 8 months and almost no one views paranormal posts. TikTok gets the most views. Hi, Jenna.
Hi, Rob and Tom.
Well,
I didn't have the comments open. Now I see them.
Shane's saying that he hasn't posted to Facebook yet, but hopefully that helps people find it too. That's the thing, is we're kind of having to decide where we're going to land, and then we can start telling people. And
Yeah.
I think we should look at it like a clearing of a hard drive of, like, we lost all the people who didn't really care about about the discussion forum, and then we're going to rebuild it somewhere else, and everyone's going to actually care. So it in some ways it's going to be higher quality, maybe less quantity.
Mm.
But let's talk about Jenna and what she can do. I have to go to the restroom. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hold on.
Carry on.
All right, Jenna, let's talk about you and what you can do.
Instagram works better than Facebook, Rob said.
Yeah.
And you need to do a 60-second video /reel. Yeah. I do Instagram and Facebook for Adoption Mosaic as my 9 to 5 job. I'm their social media manager. And yeah, Instagram is, as far as I can tell, Instagram's where it's at still. So.
Yeah, I think so too.
But
I find myself at Instagram more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Instagram's the same company as Facebook, right? It's Meta.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think because of getting deleted from there, I don't know that we'd want to start again on Insta, but rather try the other things. Although, is a good point might be that the Facebook people have Meta accounts. So if we were to tell people through all our other Facebook accounts, like mine and Shane's and yours, Jenna, and stuff, and Debbie D, hello Debbie D, and Kim, everybody told their friends where it was on Insta, then at least we know they were all people that had accounts there.
It might be.
Maybe I should start a Moira Press Instagram account.
Yeah.
It might be an interesting experiment to try posting on Instagram, and then often on Instagram you get this, hey, do you want to send this to other places? And one of those other places could be Facebook. I don't know if that would work. That's hopefully that Instagram and Meta are far enough apart from each other they don't talk too much. But you could post on Instagram and have it spread to other places like Facebook and
I do see Andy's Instagram was taken down too.
Yeah, well, I don't want to start a new account on Facebook, but I'm actually glad to be taken down as a person, because if you I really want to assimilate into us as a community. Like, it was actually oppressive that it was under my name, and that was the wrong message. I think we should start a Moira Press Instagram, because that's really what we are as a crew at this point. I mean, I never thought I could just start a. I would just have to make a Moira Press email on Gmail, and then I think I could start a Moira Press Instagram, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
Maybe I could start rocking Instagram. Like, the thing, the reason that we always chose Facebook was it's a talking forum, and astrology is a talking art. But I think I could learn the platform of Instagram. I mean, is there any way that we could multiply run the Moira Press discussion board?
Yeah, and so that's the thing too. I think you might be able to set up the new thing as an account that there could be different people helping you moderate, like with different privileges as well, so that like it wouldn't be all on you, Andy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because Jenna, you're really good at this stuff, but how much do we want Jenna to kind of take over on? I don't want your Facebook to have to turn into a Moira Plus place, because you're building your own brand there, Jenna. Um,
And also, if we're sort of done on Facebook, I am fine with that too. And I can pivot to like Reddit or wherever we want to kind of be as a group.
but I think as an artist and astrologer, you building your Facebook crew and taking everything that we all learned Facebooking together. I mean, I hope you keep building your brand.
Oh, yeah. No, I'll keep doing it. And I was sharing everything to Facebook. And then Shane had posted something about the wedding and stuff. And I shared that. And part of it was just like, oh, my friend's getting married. But the other part of it was like, if anyone is friends with me through Moira Press and you are confused, just so you know, like, this is what's going on.
Well, let's use this to make a big rebrand and rebrand out of my name into the Moira Press as a crew. Because I feel like, Jenna, you can be yourself at Moira Press, so can Kimber, so can Jay-Z. Like, it can help all of us build our brands as individuals, right? Like, it doesn't water down your brand to be part of the Moira Press, right? It would be like being part of a school or something like that, right? So let's use this as a rebrand, and I'll try to figure out. I like Alexander's idea of going on multiple platforms and seeing what bites and things like that. Because that can be, we can come in with like a market research kind of ethos about it and go to a bunch of different places. Does that sound good to people?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm wondering which of these platforms is the most group oriented, because what you're after is a group. Which is the most? I mean, they all say community, but sometimes that's not really true. I wonder which of these platforms is the most group oriented platform.
Well, do you think it's better to do a Discord or a Signal group instead of trying to do a public discussion board?
I wouldn't do a Signal group, but a Discord is another thought that like it's not as findable though, is the thing. Like, if you're on Reddit, then people who are searching on Reddit for astrology and to talk about astrology will find you. But if you have your own Discord server, you'd have to publicize your Discord server and have them join it with accounts and stuff like that. That it's like, we want to find platforms where people already have an account and there's already a search feature in the platform that will lead people searching for astrology or remediation or whatever to us.
Yeah, you know? Remy has a Discord account and he never goes out of his little clique. Shane says Reddit is the most group oriented.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Shane, on that for sure.
Okay. Well, okay. So I get that part of the plan, that we're gonna recreate this, but how can we have the same amount of morale for the YouTube videos because they're not going up on Facebook? Like, how can we feel? I mean, there are a lot of people in the chat today, and that kind of creates a good feeling of like, maybe we morph into more of this like open community space where we meet on live stream every day. And that's more of what the Moira Press is a live stream content place where people are in the chat with us. I mean, I just don't want to lose morale because we lost Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe live stream is your thing. And you can post on Instagram, Reddit, that we're going to be on live stream. For the live stream event, click here. I don't know if that
You can advertise on Reddit. I don't really know what the rules are, but yeah, I mean, maybe we could just move it to, we used to rock Facebook, but in this chapter, we're going to rock live stream, which is a gathering place more than. I'm sad to lose the Facebook. Like, I just love the Facebook medium. Like, I just am sad to lose it, but it's just gone.
Well, I think one of the things was that, like, all right, the thing about Facebook that was good seemed to be that people could post things there, and then people could, like, even if they didn't check it out every day, they could scroll through what they had missed over the past few days or week or something like that. And I think that's when people would see, like, oh, you guys released some videos, I'm gonna go check them all out. Like, that there was a place kind of like a bulletin board, Andy, in that analogy, of like where people could put notices up, and then other people could come by later and say, like, oh, here are all the ones I missed, and now I have time. So it's like, it's a little different to me feeling than a live stream that happens every day, and if you miss that one, you missed it, but then you don't really go to look through all the comments to see if there's any links you should click on, right? But where could we have a place that people could go and see, like, here's all the things that have happened so far this week, and links to them that you might have missed or whatever?
Like a link tree?
Well, does Linktree have that? See, I don't know. Does Linktree have that?
It's like one link and they click it and then they go in and it's like a bunch of different links to different things.
To different platforms.
Either different platforms or just different websites.
Well,
like it could be like 5 different YouTube links to different YouTube videos.
Oh, interesting. Well, I think it's something that, like, if there was a way that we could, like, we could do this on YouTube, we could, like, have our weekly, week in review recap, and then we would put in the description, like, links to all the things that people might have missed or something like that. Or we could have, like, it could for legit be a blogging platform where every week we at least make a post that says, here are all the things you've missed. Or it could be like a Medium account where you just write a blog post for that day saying, like, here are some things, or something like that. If we had something like that, that wasn't just like the website where the it has to be edited by, like, the webmaster, but something that people could post blog posts and comments on the posts.
So Shane's saying we should remind YouTube viewers to subscribe and turn on notifications. That's a thing. And then he says on the subreddit, you can post whatever you want within the guidelines of Reddit. Advertising on Reddit is 100% allowed. Advertising on specific subreddits may not be. So we should just use our own subreddits, which we have a Moira Press one and an astrological remediation one. So, and with every platform, I have to test it out. Like, I'll do a thing and see if they take me down, And so I think I could on my Reddit just start posting, like, here, this video happened yesterday. I mean, I'll have to start trying stuff on Reddit and see, but I hear what you're saying, Jay-Z, that we need a written place for people to catch up on the Moira Press news.
Yeah, so here, let's try. So tomorrow we're going to make videos on YouTube that are like the 5 books I'm reading now, right? So I'm going to make one. Andy, you're going to make one, and Jenny, you're going to make one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Alexander, of course, are welcome to as well.
Astrological books?
No,
No,
just
any.
just like 5 books I'm reading now. There's one, Leaves of Grass. And Debbie, you can do it too, right? And then so will Andy, if you make you have your own subreddit, right? Or is there a Moira Press Reddit yet?
There's now a Moira Press. Shane made a Moira Press one, and there's
All right, so let's try this as an experiment. Post a thread on that subreddit and let I guess me know where it's at because I don't. And I'll put a reply post, and on that I'll say, oh, here's the link to my YouTube video of it, and we can all just like make a thread there.
Hey Shane, you're the website moderator or maker. Is there a possibility to make a discussion board on the Moira Press web on the end? Well, then it's still my name. It's not Moira Press. It's Andrea Garrett's website. But like, well, I don't know. It's just a question. But okay, let's try it on Moira Press Reddit because I think the Moira Press Reddit is the one we should grow. Not my personal one, not Remediation, but Moira Press.
Yeah, because that will be, if that's our subreddit and we're the moderators, then we get to determine the rules, right? Is that how it works, Shane?
I think so, from what he's told me. So, yeah. Right. And we could allow people to advertise on our subreddit. Like, I actually like people to be able to market themselves. I don't have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you guys agree.
Yeah. No, cool.
We got to figure out a way to keep people's morale up and make them want to. I guess we'll just have to say we're a YouTube station. That's what the Moira Press production is. It's a YouTube station. Because it used to be a Facebook show and a YouTube station, and now it's just a YouTube station. And maybe clipping the leg of Facebook will allow us to do more stuff on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And I think that we should write more things in like the actual descriptions of our videos and post replies and comments and stuff like that. Like it does have some capabilities of having threads and stuff that people can read later and we can talk to each other on too.
Mm-hmm.
Jenna, maybe you can take over on Facebook and start asking the crowd questions because I feel like that was such a fun thing to have, was a question-based place. And I don't want you to take my persona, but I just, that is something that I hope you do on Facebook to build your crowd because the crowd loves it when you do astrological questions. And you have a smaller reach than I did, but it started there. And I don't know, I hope that someone takes over and makes a place for all the people to hang out and talk astrology.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to work on finding some of those people that were very active that I like either wasn't friends with or hadn't connected yet with. But I do have like a good dozen or so friends that came from Moira Press or came from you, Andy, that I'm sure would interact because they're people who interacted before.
Mm-hmm.
What is the site on Reddit?
It's Reddit. Let me look it up. It's Reddit-r Moira Press. Hold on.
I'm going to just see what it looks like on my phone.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it. I have a bunch of Reddit tabs open.
Is it R Moira Press?
Yeah, it's.
I see it. Got it.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Do we want to share it in the chat for anyone who wants to find it?
Yes.
Yeah, just put it. It's failed to post. I don't know why sometimes mine fails to post, and then I try it again and it works.
It's the snow.
No, it failed to post again. Here, I put it in the private chat. Someone else try to post it in the comments.
Like post it in the regular comments?
Yeah. See if it works. Maybe my... Yeah, that worked, Andy.
I post as Andy.
Oh,
That's why I never comment in the comments.
Oh, I see. That's funny.
Well, I'm joining.
I mean, we just have to work with whatever platform we're allowed to be on, and I think this is where it gets back to technical resilience. I think one of the things that this can do is increase the technical resilience of the Moira Press and say we are a place of people who are creating content and display content on different platforms. It was YouTube and Facebook, now it's YouTube and Reddit, but like I think we should look at our life's work as not Facebookers, as content creators who will engage wherever we are allowed. I mean, essentially.
Yeah. In other words, it's a little bit like taking your book and sending it to a bunch of bookstores instead of just Powell's.
Right. Or instead of just Barnes and Noble. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't want this to maybe, see, this is a monologue I'm gonna have to do, Jenna, on YouTube. I'm gonna have to be like, let's not kill the mojo, because I'm just gonna be perseverating on like how to not lose morale. But like I was looking at your video today, because I think we are starting to get more views on YouTube because people are not watching stuff on the Facebook wall, and it takes a while for people to find us. Like, for example, when we moved over to live stream, it moved from the videos tab on YouTube over to the live tab on YouTube, and it took people a while to find the videos. I think once they figure out we're not on the Facebook wall, but we're still functioning over on YouTube, people will start going to look to YouTube. So we just also have to wait for people to come find us. I mean, it's got to be kind of an authentic thing of people who really want what the Moira Press has to offer will come and find it. And those who were just kind of watching as a fidget spinner, like, will not find it. And that's maybe more quality viewers than we had, and maybe that's okay.
Yeah, and I think there are things we can do with the YouTube channel also to make like a landing page for it, or the intro video that plays when you go to the main page of the YouTube channel. And we could up our YouTube game as well.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think if okay, that's enough for us to try this week, but I think we should keep talking about the reorg. I think this Sunday we have our first clown video. Or no, start all in the Aries room.
Oh, that's this Sunday?
Is that this Sunday? Maybe that's me and Shane filming Start All in the Aries room to be released when Aries, because it's not Aries time.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. But we should start getting our props for when the clowns are in the Aries room.
Yeah.
We should start coordinating those props.
Are we still doing Becoming a Clown live on 3/6?
Yeah. Well, Kimber can't do that now. Clown face paint tutorial. I'm open to doing it if people want to. We could just do it with no one in the room and just do it as a live stream, like, I think we should do it to honor the transit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Shane says Linktree is something you can update regularly. So you can make a Linktree that serves as This Week on the Moira Press, which is a great thing in and of itself. People like that. People like, what's next week?
Okay, I'm writing this stuff down. We're going to try Linktree, Instagram, Blue Sky, Substack, and Reddit. Am I missing anything?
Well, you only TikTok, but I don't think TikTok is worth it.
TikTok's more like YouTube Shorts, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's this is my opinion. You have to dig to not find it shallow.
Yeah.
It's shallow.
Okay. Well, this will give me enough to work on for a week. I mean, I've got to work on this stuff to see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok is for people looking for something to do so they don't have to do the dishes.
Okay. Well, and if anyone's morale is going down, just text me and I will talk to you personally. Like, Jenna and I have been texting in the background since Facebook went off. We were the most active Facebookers, you and me. So that I think that was just a friendship happening on Facebook. I know Jay-Z's not a big day texter, but Alexander, if you ever wish we were talking on Facebook, feel free to text. And anyone, Debbie, anyone who's watching, if you were emotionally attached to the Facebook wall, you can text me personally.
I text sometimes. It depends.
Anything anyone else wants to talk about?
I just followed us on Reddit.
Oh, dude, we should rip Reddit up, Jenna.
We're gonna do it.
Just for fun.
I joined too.
Okay.
Woo.
And the link on Reddit is on the. I'm only on my phone, but the link on Reddit is pretty clear, and it's got this link to the page and a link to YouTube. So you could click either of those if you want to see something else.
Oh yeah, it's got the website and the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's peachy.
Okay. Well, it was an end of an era, but we are resilient. I mean, this is, Astral Lioness, nice. So Debbie, yeah, this is really the real people at the Moira Press just need a place to party, really, and that's really what it's about. And then people can come and join us if they want. But I want to say thank you to Facebook for all the years of letting us convene, because that's how I met Debbie. That's how I met you, Jenna. I mean, so I just want to say thank you to Facebook. I don't know why it took me down. It was the FBI, the Facebook intelligence.
Facebook intelligence.
That's what Shane said.
So. Good one.
All right. Well, if there's anything you guys want to talk about regarding production too, just hit me up as far as the next meetings. Because I mean, the next meetings, I guess we'll just keep working on the reorg, and then anything else people want to talk about. So.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys. We'll see you on Reddit.
Have fun. See you on Reddit.
Yeah.
I read it.